Start from the start here, and you'll cross over just like the youth did this morning. You'll make your way up a fast little uphill, and you'll be up on the fast line. You take your way down through there, and a little piece of woods. Better after the youth got to kind of chewed up a little bit, so traction. You'll go across the little field there, and you'll break off from where the youth went. So you have a couple dips down there. After the first dip, guys, you guys can go straight, or you can go right, go out into the field, and then come back in. Going out and around is a lot safer. I know I tried to go through the middle last night, and I backed out of it. I don't know how deep that hole was, but I wasn't seeing, so. Which way you go there, that'll take you back in the woods, and you guys will run the afternoon piece up around the 3-mile mark. So that's really good stuff, and you'll come back down. When you come back down, you guys will work your way out. You guys won't see the 4-mile mark. We took that out. So you'll do just like the PM quads did yesterday. You'll turn left there. It'll come down and cross the tow road. You'll head back into the woods right at the 5-mile mark. And you'll come down through there. You'll cross over flat rocks, so you guys can go right and go up that hill. It'll be a little shorter, or you guys can go further up that long tow road and come back around like the youth did. So whichever way, if it's bottlenecked up the clay hill, just keep going up, and you guys can come right back around to that. And you'll come out through there, and then you'll break off where the youth were again, and you jump down on it. And that's the one spot we didn't get a doze last night, guys. So it's a little quad ruts down through there. So just use caution. You're right along a bank. And that'll bring you out to the 6-mile mark, and I'll let Bolton tell you about the rest.
When you get to that 6-mile mark, you run around that bench. You're going to drop off of it. You got a little steep, a little downhill that'll bring you down to a little creek crossing. There's a bunch of different lines in there. You shouldn't have any trouble with it. And that'll shoot you up a gas line back into the woods on the other side. You're going to pick up some new trail. We cut out a little bit, and it probably made it just a smidge longer, not by much. But you're still going to get from the 6 to the 7 kind of quick. That's because there's an afternoon piece in there that you guys are skipping. So if it only feels like a half mile from the 6 to the 7, that's because it's only about a half mile. No worries there. You get some open stuff and some tighter stuff back and forth after that 7-mile mark, couple of little ups and downs. One little creek crossing, same thing. It's got a bunch of different lines in it. Shouldn't have any trouble. Then quick little field section, in and out of the woods again. Come out to the 8-mile mark. You're skipping the FMF PowerPoint hill back behind the concession stand. So same thing, when you get from the 7 to the 8, kind of quick, and it feels like it's only 3/4 of a mile. Guess what? That's because it's only 3/4 of a mile. So 8-mile mark, and then guess what? Same 8 to the 9 is really quick. You're running trackside all the way around there. There's a little afternoon piece in there that you guys are going to skip. 8 to the 9's real quick, and then you're going to go back in the woods. Past that 9-mile mark, you got some good, little bit tighter woods, zigzags back and forth. And then it'll open up a little bit, bring you over to the 10-mile mark, and then just past the 10, you're going to jump out in trackside pitting. And then you're going woods field, woods field, woods field, back and forth all the way around that back part of the property. That'll bring you back around to the motocross track. You run out around that motocross track past the 11-mile mark, in and out of the finish. You're going to come back off the motocross track, come across the top of this ridge, and you'll drop down, cross the road over here to the 1-mile mark, run this grass track out and around the mulch pile over here to the left of the start. Grass track back in the woods, back behind us here, back out of the woods to the 2-mile mark and tie in where you started at. So you guys are looking at about 10.5 miles. There's some really good stuff out there. Like Ryan said, it's really starting to tack up. There's some awesome tacky stuff out there, but there's also still some really slick stuff. So just be mindful on that slick stuff that it's very, very greasy. And pay attention to those arrows, guys. I know I always say that, but pay attention because there's a lot of old trail out there. We've got everything blocked as good as we can, but obviously, if you start blowing through stuff, that's part of what happens. But if you're paying attention to those arrows, you're not going to blow through it. So good luck, be safe, have fun, and pay attention to those red arrows, everybody.
All righty, thanks a lot, Bolton. We'll take this opportunity to remind everyone, safety first. GNCC racing, like all motorsports, can be dangerous. Racers, now that you've had an opportunity to inspect the course, have heard the race procedures and a description of the course. If you feel that either you or your machine is not prepared, then now's the time for you to withdraw for a complete refund of your entry fee, no questions asked. Remember, it is your responsibility, riders, to operate your machine in a safe manner, maintaining control at all times. Extreme caution is required when areas with high concentrations of fans. Do not take unnecessary risks that endanger the safety of fans. You will be penalized for reckless racing. Race fans, Due to the nature of GNCC racing, there is no fence barrier around the race course. It is your responsibility to keep yourself and your children a safe distance from the race course. Never turn your back on oncoming racers, and remember, stay off the track. And finally, for the safety of everyone, unauthorized drones are prohibited at GNCC and will be confiscated. And now, as we get ready to roll into today's racing action, one gentleman I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce you to if you've never had the opportunity to meet. And we're talking about the man who's, well, the namesake of this John Penton GNCC, the man that basically pioneered the sport that we know and love today, the motorcycles that you're riding right here today. John Penton himself. Ladies and gentlemen, will you welcome the man, the myth, the legend right here today, John Penton. John, it's such an honor once again to have you out here with us in southeastern Ohio. I know, you know, you're known and recognized worldwide, but we here in Ohio, we claim you as one of our own, and you are, my friend, no doubt about it, I think, responsible for what we're seeing out here today.
Well, thank you, and I wish everyone good luck and a good ride.
There you go, from the man himself, John Penton, ladies and gentlemen. So now, if you would, join us as we ask a blessing on this morning race with Mr. Ricky Towery.
Thank you, Rodney. Hey, let's go, Lord, and let's have a word of prayer together this morning. Heavenly Father, once again, we thank you for bringing us all together safely so we can come out here and have some fun together. We just ask you watch over these riders this morning, Lord. You'll keep them safe. You bless us with such a beautiful day to come out here and enjoy our sport. Watch over our military men and women in all parts of this world each and every day. Lord, we do thank you for Mr. Penton and his family, what they've done for this sport through the years. Continue to bless him and his family. Lord, we just thank you once again for the blessing that you give us. Take us all home safely when this is over with. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, if you would, please remain standing, stand at attention, remove those caps, and cross those hearts as we honor the greatest nation in the world with a playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rugged red the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Well, there you have it, folks. As we begin to set the stage for this scheduled 10 o'clock race this morning. A little larger turnout, late sign-ups and sign-up. We held things up for just a little bit to get things, well, ensure everybody gets to the starting line, and they have made it. And now, my friends, as we turn our attention to this amateur race, We also focus on our premier class here this morning, the women's cross country, aka the WXC. And let's meet our starting lineup. Rolling to the line first today, hailing from Australia on the Husqvarna Rockstar Husky, Taylor Jones. Rolling to the line second today, she rides aboard the number 2 from Circleville, Ohio on a Fly Max's KTM, Becca Sheets. Rolling to the line third today aboard the 828 from Australia, the Bonsai and Plumbing KTM, Mackenzie Tricker. Fourth in points, riding aboard the number 650 from Travelers Rest, South Carolina, actually from Canada, Rachel Archer. Currently fifth in points aboard the number 580 from McHenry, Maryland, the Motorcycle Shop Teely Energy Moose Racing KTM, Brooke Cosner. Sixth to the line aboard the 703 from Bridgeton, New Jersey on the Mike Beeler Racer's Edge KTM, Cheyenne Phelps. Eighth aboard the 445 from Blaine, Tennessee on a Fox Suzuki RM Army FMF, Shelby Rowland. Actually, it looks like she's riding a Kawasaki to me today. Ninth in points aboard the number 483 from Bloomington, Indiana on a Sky Goggles YNS Designs FC Suspension Yamaha is Elizabeth Perez. And last is at least 239 machine from Bourbonville, Pennsylvania, the Right Free Ministries, Martin Motorsports, Joseph Davis Incorporated KTM, Annalisa Davis. And that your starting lineup for our premier WXC class here for the Wiseco John Penton GNCC as we fire them up and get ready to go. All attention turning to Ricky Towery now as the stage is set. And Ricky Towery is set, it appears, as he steps out of sight. There's 2 minutes. 2 minutes before we get ready to roll here in the hills of southeastern Ohio, celebrating our 30th running of the Wiseco John Penton GNCC. Folks, we are glad that you have chosen to be a part of it. Of course, weather conditions rolling into this weekend, not the most favorable. But one thing that has been in our favor, it's been a history-making weekend all weekend. And though records were not necessarily set or broken, it was a phenomenal day of racing yesterday as we look to see that happen once again here today. So many riders can call this place home on so many different levels, including Caleb Russell, who misses his family farm. Thad Duvall, who grew up racing here probably more than Caleb Russell ever did, honestly. And Caleb Russell hunted with Big John here, so we know there's guys that know this place. Flags are out, blue flags are out, shutting them down. As we get that set to roll, we turn our attention up to Rick Towery now as our conductor of ceremonies readies these ladies and lets them know it's time to roll in a matter of only 10 seconds for row number 1, the WXC here at the Wiseco John Penton GNCC. And around we go, the first turn. It's going to be the number 2, Becca Sheets out of Circleville on her Fly Max's KTM, but she's got pressure. Oh, 444, Corey Steed on the gas Fly machine out of Beloit, Ohio. Grabbing the lead there, Sportsman 8. 10 seconds. Ryan Cunningham, Brady Ware, Dylan Carano, Alan Herman, also Sam Williams, Rob Schenk, Eric Bidemeyer, Kevin Weber, Aaron Studer, Garrett Dye, Dylan Healy, Lane Hosler, Wade Rimmingson, Adam Parker, Anthony Matheny, Patrick Billings, Deshaun Horton, Mark Horesco, the 655 grabbing the lead there. Not on my sheets, must be a late sign up. 33 riders in that class, 4 riders in our next class coming up. Super Senior A45 Plus class, Scott Kirkhoff, Alan Brown, David Van Kuren, and Scott Gunter ready to roll in 10 seconds. Super Senior A off The 660 is Scott Gunter from Powhatan Point, Ohio. On his Honda. Oh, no, that's a gas. Sorry, it was red. I just automatically assumed. But our gas, that's 2 gas that got hole shots today. Wow, so that's saying something about those machines. Masters A 50-plus class. 10 seconds. Kenny Hawkins, Dr. Steve Thaxton, Willis West, Scott Haynes, Troy Stanley, Bill Gold, Tom Yacht. By the way, Todd Gehring, Troy Stanley, a cancer survivor. I'm proud of him, and I'll toot his horn for him. 2:42 grabbing the early lead. That's Troy Stanley out of Proctorville, Ohio on an AOM CMX Kinder Recluse machine, as we said. Cancer survivor and Silver Masters A 55-plus class, ready to roll in 10 seconds. Steve Lembruno, Ray Fehrenbach, Greg Grimm, Roy Johnson, Robert Kirshner, Sam Walls, John Cars, and Norman Turnberg. .255, Ray Fehrenbach from Cumming, Georgia, on a Henson Racing FMF Garnet back KTM with the early lead in that Silver Masters A, Golden Masters A. These riders 60 years of age and older in 10 seconds. Mark Michelini, Brad Burke, Chris Sumner, William Bagby, and Ken Mankey. I don't things up for him, but normally Kim Mankey, as we always say, is and look at that, right around the outside, Kim Mankey does it once again out of West Bloomfield, Michigan. Ready to roll with our next row. 10 seconds. 125 BC, Colton Vick, Chase Rutan, Tyler Tishnell, Lucas Grounds, Garrett Droppelman, Wyatt Morris, Hawk Wright, Cody Reese, Joseph Cooper, Chase Pingley, Shane McVie, Landon Beatty, Michael Vanderliner, Blake Kohler, Chase Inman, Aiden Stewart, Troy Smith, Casey Simmons, and Jeremiah Devers. 4:23, Lucas Grounds from Martinsville, Indiana on a Spikes Bikes DQ tuned grounds quality lawn care machine. Sportsman B class. Whoa, 59 riders in this one. Troy Smithberger, Zach Getz, also Hunter McDaniels, Isaac Jenkins, Derek Kane, Ian Fitzwater, Adam Ray, Ryan Gruber, Cameron Ware, Brent Long. 10 seconds. Joshua Cunningham, Chase Starkey, Wyatt Ford, Bradley Gray, Ryan Bishop, Camden Martin, Levi Koontz, Jacob Pritt, Tyler Rose, David Jolly, Kelder Hoppin, Bodie Kim, Ben Burton, Lucas Seifelak, Wyatt Eddie, Todd Faust, John Rivera, Colin Eric, Carl Theodore, Cordell Clark, Justin Schultz, Nick Bush, Logan Picarillo. I missed the whole shot. Let's see, Jeff Ively, Garrett George, Rusty Brown, Mike Hockman, Russell Landers, Sean Carr, Austin Alcorn, also Adam Glass, Adam Metz, Chris Lamb, Don Healy, Ryan Brumfield, Philip Arnold, Jordan Dixon, Matthew Donahue, Ryan Gregg, Nick Flowers, Tyler Harshman, Cody Anderson, DJ Wolford, Jacob Morgan, Colin Gabriel, Cole Shiplet, also Brady Mercer and Bernie Roll. Got them all. Senior B, 40 plus, Super Senior B, 45 plus class coming up next. 10 seconds. Mike Downs, James Noose, Kevin Grog, Chuck Leemaster, Anthony Reed, Kevin McLaughlin, Billy Evans, Tom Lambert, Bob Monco, George Pugh, Bill Hurst, Lincoln Hannum, Dan Stempowski, Shane Bauman, and Tom Grog. 15-rider class don't seem so big after 59 riders just went through, but hey, it's a big class for these guys. The 411, Billy Evans from Charleston, West Virginia, grabbing the early lead in that 45-plus class. Now to the Masters B 50-plus class. We got Kenny Workman, Gary Basang, Tracy Potter, Craig Smith, Neil Morrill, Raymond Santee, Trent Woolmaker. 10 seconds. David Parsons, Cecil Rose, Doug Phillips, Brett Hayes, Richard Bryant, and Rodney Wood. Oh, would he now? 112 on the machine. We'll try to get the number off the helmet as they around the first turn. That's going to be the, what is that, 331, Craig Smith from Medina, Ohio. The young gun, the 50-year-old in this Masters 50-plus class. Silver Masters B 55-plus class coming up next. Doc McGee, Bernie Redmond, David Grant, Rick Michaels. 10 seconds. Timothy Anderson, Marshall Young, John Selman, Michael Erdman, Michael Anganello, James Dice Sr., Adam Prismont, and Steve Anderson. Michael Agnello, that's it. And 6:09, Adam Prismont, Westchester, Ohio, grabs that lead. Whistles are blowing, shutting them down. 10 seconds. It's for our elite masters, Gordon Stout and Gary Balash. And our Golden Masters 60 plus, I believe. I got the wrong, in platinum class, yes. Tom Levesque at 72 years old. And that's 263. Gordon Stout grabbing the lead in that Elite Masters 65 plus class. Tom Levesque getting the lead in that 70 plus class. Golden Masters BC 60 plus in 10 seconds. Mark Randolph, Jim Douglas, Larry Root, Dale Falwell, and Kevin Outland. And they're on Falwell from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. The North Carolina State also a Grand Marshal there at the Steel Creek GNCC. It's the 5:17 to Dale Falwell. Hey, State Treasurer North Carolina grabs the early lead on his Four Brother Food Stores Honda of Winston-Salem made to play motocross back machine. Up next, women. 10 seconds. Jenna Squire, Abby DeFeo, Katie Benson, Don Sylvia, Marina Kencrow, Heather Cosner, Allie Phillips, and Tiffany Valentine. 3:05, Abby DeFeo from Willington, Connecticut on an Edelman's Troy Lee Designs Battery Park Off-Road back machine gets a nice, healthy start. Pulling to the lead now, the 200C 16 plus class. Jesse Branston, Hayden Martin, Christopher Eddy, Lane Eberhardt, Trevor Golden, Ramey Seegers, Jay Tomlinson, Chase Ingalls, Ryan Richards, Connor McClellan, also Tristan Kuiper. All ready to roll next to this 200C 16 plus class as Ricky Talley readies these riders and tells them 10 seconds. All righty. We got one guy trying to rock it out there. That's the 397 Hayden Martin out of Orgonia, Ohio. Taking to the early lead in his 200C class today. 200C schoolboy. 10 seconds. 12 to 15-year-old class with Miles Gefkin, Brady Gurrell, Ezra Prime, Ben Rimsing, Gabe McNichols, Jacob Dietrich, and Anthony Blackburn. Ezra Prine from Shinston, West Virginia on a factory connection at Cheruby's 100% Speed Lab back machine. 250C College, 18 to 24-year-old class. Jonathan Matheny, Clay Shingleton, Mike Rango, Reese Harmon, Bryce McLaughlin, Cody Naylor. 10 seconds. Dustin Anderson, Jacob Altier, Blake Barker, Christopher Graham, John Bayless, Brendan Dodery, Mason Burgle, Aaron Wilson, Alex Eggleston, Tyler Harmon, Hunter Helmick, Creed Kisling, Brandon Ricord, in Noturno, also Tyler Nyland, Austin Dietrich, Quentin Clark, Kendall Taylor, Dylan Vignoli, Austin Harmon, Travis, Cody Palmer, Valdi Carlin, Wyatt Bell, Ben Kirkland, and Jeremy Ladon. 250C class to Masters 50 plus C class. Milton Taylor, Paul Leftwich, Michael Lanning. Hey, it's his birthday today, man. Happy birthday, Michael. Also looking at Michael Lewis, Randall Walton, James Carter, Ron Cantley, Brian Locke, Brian Rhines, Bill Faint, Eric Yadis. 10 seconds. Todd Sisti, Eric Steinberg, Neil the Real Deal Seelinger, Lee Edens, and Jerry Layton. Yeah, that's right. Michael Lanning turning 50 years old today. His first day eligible to ride the class. Let's see if he can whoop up on these old men. The 4.51 getting the early lead. That's actually 4.89 Bill Faint from Hodgkins, Georgia on his KTM. Thank you very much, Rob Fox from Dunlop Tires. I thought it said something like that, but not quite that. But rolling them E50 plus class. We got women in 10 seconds. Women's seat class with Kara Parsons, Melissa Parsons, Amber Hanna, Katie McDevitt, Tyler Murray, Carrie Knox, Elizabeth Allen, Haley Phillips, and Claudia Danielewicz. By 57, getting off to the early lead, Elizabeth Allen out of Columbus, Ohio. Ricky Towery must have threw a bottle of water down the first turn, just licking. I'm just kidding. Had a couple of riders go down. Hopefully, hopefully everything's going to be all right here. Yeah, hopefully everything's going to be okay. 250C Junior 25 plus class. John Sharp coming up with Nate Annan, also Cody Carr, Avery, Tyler Shepardson, Wesley Lester, Stephen Cantley, Matthew Blosser, Derek Palis, Michael Muovich, Tavis Rankins, Gerald Nicholas, Evan Whipke, Evan Beller, also Travis Fetter, Alan Plassard, and Dwight Edwards. Here we go, Ricky Towery says. 10 seconds. And the junior 5 plus class off and rolling. .393, that is Avery Blair from Grafton, West Virginia. Getting set to roll this 250C Junior 25 plus class, Open State College, 16 to 24. Once again, guys, remember we got riders on the inside of that first turn. 10 seconds. Dylan Fleming, Drew Mesa, Joshua Faulkner, Zachary Dennis, Drew Fartick, also Carter Kearns, Cody Wadsworth, Peyton Baker, Stoffer, Stu Burkett, Funk, and Jamin Hardy. Well, Buggy's got a pretty cool name, but I like saying Carter Kearns a lot for some reason. We'll see whose name we get to say today. It is, 378. Or, yes, Drew Mazza from Pittsburgh, West Virginia. Mesa. And I believe that was Carter Kearns right behind him. I just like saying Carter Kearns' his name for some reason. 10 seconds. Senior C 40 plus class, James Blake, Shane Martin, Eric Nagard, Jude Gavar, Brian Conaway, Everett Baker, Nate Thompson, Brent Belso, Edward Pullen, Robert Whitlock, Kevin Bell, Rick Liller, William Van Over, William Hollenbeck, and Daniel Ellison. And 439. Brian Conway from Newark, Conway back to KTM. Super Senior C 45 plus class coming up next. James Iglehart, Bobby Tomasak, Tomasiak. We got David Lettrich, Sean Wishart, Michael Muovich, Scott Meeks, Jason Watson, Jeff Lester, Jeff Keller, Steve Maynard, Kevin Kogar, Mike Saunders. And the reason I laugh, Mike had the discussion about Mr. Bobby Tomasiak's last name. I call him Tomasic all the time. He finally came up to her and told her, tell him it's not that. But Bobby Tomasiak took the whole shot just now. Glad I got it right, and I probably got it wrong anyway. He's on a Point View KTM. Some of these names, though, they get a little difficult. 10, 30 plus, Jeff Elliott, Brian Capelli, Sturgic, Dustin Runyon, also Joshua, Andrew Atkins, Travis Wendell, Kevin Young, James Kennedy, Hurley Air, Kevin Hudson, Dima Adam Odell, Corey Kiger, Nate Conk, Brzezinski, and Peter Arbanez. And it was at the duo of Sasha, no FFR, MVR, PBR. Who drink? Yeah, PBR. I wonder if that's Yeah, Pabst Blue Ribbon. C5 plus class. Jason Smith, Jared Schuster, Tom Gleba, Michael Atkins, Diego Rodriguez, Doug Bailey, Donald DeGarmo, Stephen Young, and TJ Penton. Firing them off, one right after. What was that? 3. Hugo Rodriguez, I believe, out of Georgia, unofficially getting the early lead. 4-stroke C lights. 10. Sorry about that, too. Austin Sentinel, Daniel Smith, Jared Trotto trying to keep up with Ricky Towery. Michael Grant, Colin Gehring, Andrew Danitsko, Tristan Stewart, Jacob Brooks, Cody Linda, Matthew Ivory, Colton Wyckoff. This is that 30 seconds we talked about in between start rows. 692, that is Cody Linda from Hickory, North Carolina. Up next, ready to roll, C Junior 25 plus class. Joseph Murphy, Jesse Fulmer, Steve Burwitz. Also looking at 10 seconds. Jesse Carson, Matthew Barrett, Shane Gore, Michael Gardner, Brandon Jewell, Justin Cunningham, and Justin Mackey. Open C Junior 25 plus class. 251 on his bike. Now, is that a gas or is that a Honda? Honda? What was that? 327. Joseph Murphy on a Maxxis Nothing Fancy Company Leap machine. Nothing fancy. That's me all the way. 10 seconds. 250C Schoolboy 14-17. Co O'Neill, Aiden Bevel, Landon Gilbert, Brock Belsel, Jordan Boring, Tyler Metz, Lee Hope, Josh Van Kirk, Ethan Dingle, Sean Sumney, Cade Holzer, Bradley, Chase Pride, Forrester, Gary Stomper, Caleb Crompton, Hayden Schultz. Also, that's right, 516. Bradley Berry out of Nelsonville, Ohio, grabbing the early lead. Brian Burgess also out here with us. Jake Shaw, Shane Felton, Ben Thompson, Cody Goldbrook, Shaner Braxton Schutz, Burke Marsiglia, Nick Ellis, and Ryan Harms. Trail Riders coming up next. 10 seconds. Will Green, Dan Ocasto in his Trail Rider class, Kyle Freer, Brett Triplett, Brad Seaman, David Rudder, Austin North, Levi Williams, Carl Malik, Bradley Bridges, Brian Mulford, Tyler Jackson, Slade Wilcoxon, Logan Chapman, Mike Goodwin, Johnny Snyder, Davis Smith, Chris Tinger, Scott Black, and William Watkins. 772, Chris Tinger, Logan, Ohio. And I believe we still got a bike ready to go, or trying to get ready to go. Jared Bolton, our sweet man, trying to give him a, looks like we're ready to go. We good? All right, start's clear, and that's going to wrap up our starts here for this 30th running of the Wisecoat John Penton GNCC. For those of you on RacerTV.com, we'll be back as close to 1 o'clock as possible. And, of course, for the rest of us, get ready. Wayne's going to take us through the rest of this 11 or 10 o'clock race, I guess. Again, welcome to John Penton GNCC.